Okay, we get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of Signal Sideband. My name is Lynn. I'm on a radio called Cheap and Easy SSB, which is from an article in QST 1956, but built in more recent times by KG7TR, Mike in Arizona. It's a spectacular job on his part, and it's always my pleasure to operate it here on the net. And I've got it paired up with a Drake 2B receiver and K5C-GI. Richard made a Johnson Viking Courier available to me to use with it, and so that's given me about 350 watts, I think. Okay, we're going to talk about the people that are here early, and we'll call them first. If you've got buy-sell trades that are vintage-related, that'll be a great time to make your listing. And if you're working on a radio and you're stuck with a technical problem, this is a great place to ask for advice because there is a lot of expertise reflected here. Okay, I'm going to talk to HHW, BTM, TXW, DK, OJB, OMR, EF, KC5L, Robert, and others, and I'll give it to Jay before I get the last of these earlies picked up here. How about WW9, no, W5HHW. Henry, you still over there somewhere? How about it? K5LYN. Well, Henry was here early. Maybe we'll pick him up a little bit. How about Ralph, N5BTM? Ralph?
Yeah, K5LYN in the net, N5BTM, Ralph in Spring. Good evening, one and all. Tonight we're using the Kenwood TS520. Driving a homebrew linear using 4813, the grounded grid. And we're going through a Drake MN2700 tuner out to a trap dipole in the inverted V configuration. And we're on the old trusty and faithful Shure 444D microphone. And I think that about wraps it up here, Lynn. Back to you, K5LYN in the net, N5BTM.
Spectacular signal, Ralph. And you know, years ago you sent me a picture of that 813 homebrew amplifier. Tell us a little bit more about that. What led to it? How long ago was it you built that? Out of any magazine article? Tell us a bit more about that. It's a beautiful piece of equipment.
Well, you're very generous with the compliments and very much appreciated there, Leon. Well, I had built up just after I'd got my journal ticket a number of years ago, went over to some amateur radio operators, QTH there in Austin, and I was still wet behind the ears, as they might say, and he had an old amplifier that he had built, and I think it was a single, it was either a single or a pair of 813s. Anyway, it was in the evening, and you got to look in there and see all those tubes glow and how pretty they were and all that stuff. So, I built me up here, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, I built up a pair of 813s out of I don't know if it was out of an old ARRL handbook or whatever, this grounded grid. And that worked out really, really well. And then I said, well, heck, I was kind of wanting to build something, and I had quite a few 813s, so got the idea to build up 4 of them. So there you go. That's kind of the history behind this one here, Lynn. Over.
Very nicely done, Ralph. You know, we hear about 2 and 3 813s, but 4 is kind of unusual. So you went into uncharted territory, and it sure worked out nicely. Beautiful signal. Anything else for the net this evening, Ralph?
Well, just one other thing. There was a fellow I used to talk to in Georgetown, Texas, who moved down to Fenton, who's now moved back to Georgetown. He had an amp using 4 of them, so that also led some or gave some impetus to doing the same thing. Over, N5BTM.
Any idea if he's still around, still has that amp?
I talked to him about it was sometimes last year, October, November, and I believe he said he did.
Well, send him a note. Tell him to join us sometime. That would be fun. Okay, Ralph, great to hear you this evening. Anything else for the group?
That's it, and good signal. OJB off the phone.
Okay, all right. We'll get to you, Denver. TXW, George, talk to us.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. So, I'm on the 32S1, 75S3, Shure 444. and everything seems to be working. No amplifier tonight, although I'm reasonably sure it would work. I'll try to work my way up to that, and I wonder who the ham was in Austin that Ralph met with.
I don't know, but that's been probably 50 years ago, and I'm sorry, my memory failed me.
Running about a whole 70 watts. I'm not even pushing the 32S1. Just trying to give it a little bit of heat, Lynn. Over.
All right. And Ralph commented, Ralph, if you think of it, you may think of it tonight while you're asleep and wake up in the morning. And know that, Ralph. Keep us posted if you do. You sounded great, George. Beautiful audio on that station. Back to you.
Well, hallelujah. I think I'm getting... Today was the day I had my leaves all crunched up. Boy, I had a lot of leaves, and I think this is the final step to recovery from the great blizzard, and I don't want to see snow again. WB5TXW back to net.
A blizzard it was, absolutely. Moving on, DK. Hey, Don, talk to us. K5LYN.
All right. K5LYN, W5DK. Evening, everybody. It's Don here in Spring Branch, north of San Antonio. I'm on my normal Drake station, the TR4, and we're using a D104. And I got the amp on just because, no reason, just got to, exercise it a little bit, so it's doing it. And I'm using a double extended ZEP antenna tonight, so hope everybody has a good evening. And I'd hate to hear about leaves. I'm tired of them myself. Back to you, Lynn, W5DK.
Outstanding signal, absolutely. Great audio and powerful. Right here in the room with me. Great to hear you, Don. Okay, Mr. OJB, Denver. Now, I thought Denver said he was back from the phone. Maybe he said he was going to the phone. Let's back up.
I'm right here. I got something trying to drown y'all out over here. Let me cut this thing down. Okay, now I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, Denver, talk to us. You got it.
All right, this is Denver N5 OJB, Gonzales, Texas, and I'm talking to you on a 75S1, 32S1, and listening to you on a 75S1, and I'm running an NCL 2000 into homemade and fan dipole with the apex at about 30 foot, and just loving this and using a Shure 444 microphone. A 444D microphone. Get this right. And then I've got the station console, the 214 station console, and they're all winged emblem.
And they all talk really well.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, very nicely done, Denver. Absolutely. And I will say also, we have quite a few Collins pieces on the net, but you've got the only national amplifier. You're the main man on that count.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, sir.
Anything else for the group this evening?
No, that's it. I had thought about something earlier, but I know what it is. I have anybody that's got a TS520, I do have a matching external speaker for a 520, and I will ship it to them for $65, or I'll meet them on the highway with it for $50. And I also have a Kenwood AT200 antenna tuner that will match that radio and any of the other old Kenwood radios. And I'll take $150 for that, and I'll meet you on the highway with it.
Can they look you up on QRZ.com and get an email address?
They certainly can, or my phone number is 254-630-8863.
All right, OJB, N5OJB. Look him up. Anything else, Denver?
That's it. I'll give it back to you and let you give everybody a good hard time.
That's what we do here. All right. How about Jeff, W5OMR? Jeff? Well, I don't hear Jeff. How about K5EF? Nick, are you down there?
Yeah, I'm here. K5EF. Copy?
Copy you fine. Tell us about it.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone on the net. I'm running a unusual radio. You probably haven't heard one of these on in a long time. It's a Cosmophone Model 35, and it was designed in the mid-50s, produced only for about a year and a half, 1958 to 59. And I'm driving a 600L, and the antenna, of course, is the sloper array. But in any event, I finally got everything pretty much worked out of it. I only have one last bug to deal with, and hopefully I can resolve that one. What happens is when I key it up, there's a burst of carrier. It doesn't last very long, but it's some sort of a timing problem with all these relays I've got in this thing. But we'll get it resolved. In any event, this is a quite unusual rig. There's only about 30 of them operational that I know of, so you're not likely to hear too many of them, Lynn, yes?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Nick, you've done spectacular work. It sounds just like you. It's doing a great job, and matching it up with the 600L was a perfect match. And that's the only Cosmophone we've ever heard or probably will ever hear. So you might be the star winner tonight. Over.
If I could ever get W5XU, my next door neighbor, to rebuild and restore his, then we'll actually have not only two Cosmophones on the net, but Cosmo neighbors, and you don't really get too many of those, you know.
Oh, and absolutely, and he's you can tell him what he needs to do. You've been there.
Yeah. So, any of that, you saw this rig. It was over at the W9DYB symposium over in Tennessee. Brian Harris had brought 3 of them over. I got one. Joseph McGahey got another one, and eventually David got his. Yes?
Oh, yeah, and you're the guy that got it on the air. So very well done, Nick, and thanks for putting it on. You made history tonight.
Well, there you go. It's good to hear that national amplifier on. I've got one of those. I finally got working correctly, so maybe next week.
All right, Nick. Keep us posted. Anything else on your end?
Negative. That's it. Join the net.
Okay, all right. How about KC5L? Tom, talk to us.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and the Boat Anchors Net. Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. Thanks for picking me up. Tonight, we're on the usual here. We're talking on the Central Electronics 200B with a original D104 microphone. And that's driving a 600L, which is doing about 300 watts into a Johnson KW Matchbox. And antenna is a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet. And we're listening on the R390A. So that's about all I have this evening. So back to you, Lynn, KC5L.
Absolutely great signal, Tom. Beautiful audio. And, you know, Nick's got a 600L ready for me as soon as he and I can cross paths. So I'm going to be joining you one of these days. Over.
Roger. Well, looking forward to that. Looking forward to having another 600L on the air. And also QSL there on the Cosmophone. That's certainly a rare rig that Nick's got there. So, anyhow, back to you, Lynn, KC5L.
Yeah, the Cosmophone's about as rare as it gets. So, well, my cheap and easy SSB is about as rare as it gets, too. So, this is the place. All right, Tom, great to hear you. I'm going to pick up Robert, and then we're going to give this thing to Jay, and I'll tell Jay the people that I haven't talked to. So, WW9W. Hey, Robert, talk to us. K5LYN.
All right, lad. K5LYN and the Boat Anchors. Good evening to you. Good evening, Jay. Good evening, everybody. You guys got some great signals up here. Hey, Lynn, I got a list for you guys tonight, man, for sale, some Boat Anchors. First of all, I've got a heat kit. I've got some heat kits. I've got the SB100. I've got the SB101 and the SB102. The 100 works fine, 100 watts out. The 102 works fine. It transmit 100 watts out, but the receive, I haven't checked it out. The receive is dead on it, and the 101 I haven't tried. So if someone's interested in that, they can give me a call, and we can make a deal on that. Also, I have a Drake TR4C, and this radio works 100%. You probably heard it. I'm sure you've heard it on here. I'm going to get rid of that along with the MS4 speaker power supply. And then I've got a TR4 with the power supply that needs a little 10-11 share. It works when it wants to, but the TR4C works 100%. Let's see. And by the way, I'm running the Kenwood TS. What is this? The 820S. Yeah, the 820S this evening with the SV200. Running looks like about 450 watts into the double bazooka. Yeah, I acquired all this stuff last week, so I have no need for it. I saw a Gold Dust Twin that I picked up, and all this stuff came along with the Collins Gold Dust Twin. So I'm willing to let this stuff go at an offer. So someone that's interested, give me a call. And I got some other stuff around here you might be interested when you call me. So you can get me at 972. I'm sorry, no, that's the store. Call me here on my cell. 214-620-1304. That is 214-620-1304. And my email is good on QRZ. So if anybody interested in this equipment, I also got a 101E that works 100%. And a lot of other stuff around here. So anybody interested, give me a call and we'll make a deal. Len, appreciate you running it. And you guys have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you when we see you. WW9W, Allen, Texas.
All right, Robert. Sounds like you got some neat stuff there. And if anybody needs to look him up, WW9W on QRZ.com. And beautiful signal, Robert, into Austin this evening. Great to hear you. Okay, I said I was going to let Jay talk here. Jay, I haven't picked up K5LT, K8WOZ, WB1E, and KL7CD. I don't know if Mike wants to talk first or later, but anyway, that's where I am, and I think somebody else needs to talk besides me. Carry on, Jay, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. Yeah, that matches my list exactly, so hope I'm getting out good. I got one hand full of, well, anyway, never mind let's not go there. This is Jay, KM5QS, with the Boat Anchors Unlimited this evening. I'm on a set of Kenwood twins, the Tango 599 Delta and the R599 Delta. And I know I'm about 10 cycles up the band right now, but I will correct that when I unkey. It also has the matching speaker and an MC50 microphone. Tickling a TL922 Kenwood with it to about 500 watts or so. You say anywhere between 200 and 500. I'm trying not to mess with Mama's TV. There's something wrong with the receiver on the darn cable box. But at any rate, homebrew antenna and all the rest of that good stuff. Now, if anyone out there has a hankering for a set of Kenwood twins, I am talking to you on the best set I have ever seen. These are pristine. They are museum quality. Not a scratch or a mark on them that I know of. And I even have Pelican cases to put them in and go with them. They are for sale. They're not real cheap, but they're not the most expensive things you ever found either. So if you have any interest, get a hold of me. I'm good on QRZ. You can send me an email. Or if I've piqued your interest, my phone number is 361-453-2731. 361-453-2731. After the net, please. All right. Let me see. K8WOZ. Dan, go ahead.
Good evening, Jay, and all the other boat anchor experts on the net. This is Dan, K8WOZ, downtown Houston, the sanctuary city. Talking on the Kenwood TS830 and driving a homebrew 3813s amplifier. Spent about a year putting that one together and finally got it going. There was I had a bad relay, and boy, I've had a problem with relays lately. Anyway, it's putting out about 1,200 watts.
If I had a little higher voltage, it'd do more, but this is plenty. The microphone is a Shure 444D, the black one. I'm going through a Drake MN2000 tuner, but it's on bypass because I've got 1-to-1 on this particular frequency. And the antenna is a 2-band bazooka up there about 38 feet or so, something like that. I'll have to get my sundial out and measure it. And I've got a piece of stuff here I'd like to move down the road to, a real antique. It's a Gonset GSB 201 amplifier. It's right now it's got 4 811As in it, and it'll put out 800 watts plus. It's a powerful little bagger. It looks pretty good, and it really works quite well. The only drawback to me is it's one of these things that's dang near too heavy for me to pick up. It's about 80 pounds. But shoot, it's not much bigger than a Collins 30L1. It's just heavy. It's got a tremendous transformer in it. And if you put 572Bs in it, it'll have no problem with 1,1300 watts. Anyway, that's it. Like it, about 200, 225, depending on if I have to deliver it. But I will not ship it. It's just too big and bulky, too heavy and bulky for that. Anyway, it can be reached at area code 281-974-8171, 281-974-8171, or you can reach me on the QRZ database under KHWOZ. That's it from here, Jay. Thanks very much. Everybody's really sounding good tonight. I hope it hangs in there.
All right. Yeah, me too. I was sitting here trying to figure out whether to hit the push to talk or step on one, but too much stuff laying around here. Good deal, Dan. That Gonset sounds like a beast. I don't have any room. Anyway, maybe somebody will take that off your hands. You may have to bring somebody with them to pick it up.
Well, I can pick it up and carry it up and down the stairs, in and out of the truck and all that, but it's not something I want to ship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't want to ship these twins either. But at any rate, okay, good deal. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Looking forward to a tailgate, hamfest. I don't care, anything. Even the trader's nets are sounding attractive right now.
I agree. I'm ready to do something. Just about anything. Just about. Anyway. Okay, Dan. Thank you, sir. WB1E. Doug, your turn.
Well, good evening, the Boat Anchor Net and everybody else out there. This is Doug up here in Bryan, Texas, talking to you tonight on a good old Swan 500. If I had a chance to get another one of these, I would probably not turn it down. So they're great radios. I'm really in love with this one. Unfortunately, it's the only Boat Anchor I have right now, but with a long list of projects, that's fine. As long as she keeps working, I'm okay right now. So, and going through a homemade amplifier. It's an 8877 bass amplifier, and with the help of a Heathkit 2060A antenna matchbox. And that thing looks fantastic. I love that thing. Always wanted one, and it works as good as it looks. And the tin foil and saltwater trick does work on silver oxide. So if you're ever compelled, just look it up on the internet, and it does work. So going up through about 125 feet of RG213 to a homemade 4-to-1 ballon, out to a coat hanger-shaped loop. With the long side being about, 225 feet long, tuned to about 2.2 megahertz, so that's what I'm talking on today. So anyway, running the legal limit, and everybody sounded really good tonight. And Denver, that Collins, what a heck of a setup you got going, man. Anyway, I'll turn it back to Jay and Ned, and this is WB1E. Thanks, guys.
All right, Doug, good deal. Sounding great as usual. I don't want to make you feel too good, but I mean, gee whiz, it is a good sounding station. Just kidding. All right, let me see. I thought I heard K5LT check in earlier. Lyle, are you out there?
Good evening, Jay, and everybody else on the net. And I'm located outside of Bernie, Texas, about 30 miles north of San Antonio.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I believe he's got a little problem.
Yeah, he's got some erratic transmit.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll come back to you. You can check and see what you got, and we'll see if we can come back to you in a little bit, or just break in when you get it figured out. So we know you're there. Good luck with it. KL7CD is the last one I have on the list right now. So, Mike, go ahead.
Okay, Jay, thanks a lot. This is KL7CD. My name is Mike. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas, just north of San Antonio. Tonight I'm on the Helicopters Twins. Thought I heard somebody in there. Anyway, SX117 receiver, HT44 transmitter operating in transceive mode. I have the matching speaker and power supply. Microphone is a D104. And I run that into an SB220. Right now I'm running about 900 watts. I backed off a little bit, and that goes through my Johnson Viking kilowatt matchbox. And out of the matchbox I run through a 450 ohm ladder line, a balanced speed line, all the way up to my horizontal loop, which is 455 feet, I believe, in length. And height above ground average is about 30 to 35 feet. It kind of goes up and down. That's what's happening here. Jay, I appreciate you letting me in. L7 Charlie Delta, back to net.
All right. Thank you, sir. Sounding great. And let me see. I haven't kept my end up yet. I've only got 3 or 4 of y'all so far, so let me see if there's one or two, and then I can. Lynn, did you want me to pass it to Mike after my turn, or go ahead and pass it to Rusty and then to Mike, or what? How do you want to do that? Yep, Lynn must be doing something else. We'll worry about it in a minute or 3. Okay. Anyway, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Whiskey.
DJW, go ahead, sir.
Hey, good evening, Jay, and everybody on the net. I was just sitting here enjoying all of the good signals and the good band, although it's beginning to get a little bit noisy. It's a great afternoon for the Boat Anchors, and all the signals are really good. I was particularly fascinated by the Cosmophone. I thought I had heard of everything that had ever been made for ham radio since I've been on the air since about 1956. But I missed that one. I don't know where I was, but it sounded good. I'll have to look it up and see what it is. Anyway, thanks for letting me in. I'm on the TR4C as usual. I have a couple of projects on the bench and about ready to go, but I still got to hoist them up the stairs, and at my age, that takes a lot of determination. So we'll see about that later. Back to you, Jay.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah, we don't have stairs in this house, and I'm not going to buy a 2-story, so it ain't going to happen. I have enough trouble getting on the ladder to go up and work on the antenna. That doesn't happen very often either. But anyway, sounding great on the Drake down here. And a Cosmophone, that was in the 50s sometime, I think, when they came out, but I don't think there was too many of them even back then. And a whole lot less of them now. So, old Nick did a good job on his. Alrighty, thank you, sir. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors Net? Come now.
Kilo 7, Juliet, Alpha, Quebec, Portable 5, Roy in Dallas.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Give me a call again so I can write faster this time.
Oh, good evening, Jay in the group. Here is K7JAQ, Kilo 7, Juliet, Alpha, Quebec, Portable 5 here in northwest Dallas. Here just for the winter months and about ready to head back to Montana. And the only boat anchor we have down here right now, that we're using right now, is the Fox Tango 101 Echo FT101E, going through a KW107 Super Match, which is a matching unit made in Great Britain, a little bit different. And that is feeding a homebrew G5 RV up about 35 feet in the center and maybe 10 feet on each end. So we're running that barefoot, and I hope at least a few of the guys out there can copy. So anyway, that's about all there is from here, and when we get back up to Montana in a couple of weeks, we'll try to check in from there, but I think it might be a little tough that time of the evening up there in the northwest part of Montana. Okay, thanks again for letting me in. It's a great net, and I sure enjoy listening to all the guys and hearing the great rigs on here tonight. Here is Kilo 7, Juliet, Alpha, Quebec, Portable 5. Back to you.
All right, then. Did you say your name was Roy?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Very good, Roy. I wrote that down, so I'm glad I was right. Sometimes I listen faster than I can write. But at any rate, no, you're sounding great. And we've had people check in from that far away occasionally, and it just depends on the band. But if you can hear us, one of us will probably be able to hear you. So we'd really appreciate you trying, and be glad to have you do that. So thank you, sir, for checking in. And at this time, I guess, Rusty, let me give it to you, and then when you're done, give it to Mike and KL7CD, and we'll just go from there. How's that work?
Okay, that'll be all right, Jay. Anyway, good evening, everybody on the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. This is WK5R. I do have the helicopters warming up, but I'm not going to get onto it till after 7:30 if we're still running. I'm on the TS590 because that thing does double sideband. I don't want to interfere with the guys up on 73. So I'm running the TS590, the Audio Technica AT2035 broadcast studio mic. That goes through a homebrew phantom supply and then into the front of the 590. And I'm driving the GS35B homebrew amplifier at hello. Probably, I just saw 13 there, 1300. That's going into a homebrew fan dipole at 50 feet. And that's what we're running here. So with that, I don't have a list. Are there any earlies that we have forgotten or missed that need to check in now? Come now. Okay, hearing none. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Mike Tango.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hello, Rusty. Everybody on the net. Mike, WA5MTT in Round Rock. We're on the old dependable Winged Emblem Collins S line tonight. 75 S2 receiver, 32 S1 transmitter, and a 30 S1 amplifier. The microphone is an Electro Voice 674. That's about it, Rusty. Enjoy tuning in, hearing everyone on here.
Okay, Mike. The call-in sound great as usual there. All right. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Anybody else out there want to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. How about N0 GBK up in Nebraska, or N0 oh, doggone it, Perry up there in Missouri?
Yeah, it's KB0UOZ.
Go ahead, Perry.
No, that was me.
Oh, sorry, Jay. Well, looks like I'm striking out. One last call for anybody to check in the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Come now. All right, Mike, KL7CD, WK5R. Take a shot at it. I didn't have nothing.
Yeah, I heard that, Rusty. It may be a short net tonight. I'm really surprised. Conditions are good. So this band's around this frequency's been fading off about 8:45 in the evening almost every night this past week. So I figured we'd be good, and everybody's signal is real good. I'll tell you, Denver's signal is the strong. Of course, it depends on where you're located and all that. But Denver's signal there out of Gonzales, he was 30 over. Everybody else, really strong signals, but they're down in the 20 to 25 range on the stronger ones. Anyway, way to go there, Denver. You're getting out really good.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And you've landed on this frequency. Welcome. This is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net every Wednesday night at 6:30 right now p.m. Central Time. We may change that next week because we go on daylight savings time, so there's a possibility we may move it to 7:30. Anyway, what we do here is we talk on old boat anchor rigs. You're welcome even if you're on a solid state rig and you're interested in what we're talking about. My name is Mike, Mexico, India, Kilowatt Echo. I'm located in New Braunfels, Texas, just north of San Antonio. And if you'd like to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net, please come now. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Anyone, anywhere? Well, Lynn, I think that's it from this end. Rusty struck out, and I struck out. I gave it a big preamble, but it didn't seem to work. K5LYN, KL7CD.
Well, it worked on me. I talk. Does this thing sound okay, Mike? I just changed radios.
Sounds great.
All right. Yeah, thank you for bringing up the time. Yeah, I sure think with the going back to standard time, going to daylight savings time, we ought to go back to 7:30 next week. So let's sure do that for sure, because the sun will have us mid-afternoon if we don't do that. This is K5LYN. I have switched radios. I joined the Central Electronics group since the last transmission. This is the Central Electronics 20A from about the year 1957. And I've built a transceive adapter such that it transceives with my Hallicrafters SX115 in the manner of the Collins S-Line or the Drake Twins or the Hallicrafters Twins. So I'm transceiving now, and the 15 watts out of the 20A drives 4 6DQ5s, homebrew, grid-driven amplifier, and I got about the same power I did on the other station, about 300, 350 watts, something like that, going out. So audio's probably changed a little bit, and I hope we get it right. Maybe not quite as good a sideband suppression as the cheap and easy SSB. And I think everybody's done a great job tonight. We have a remarkable collection of radios, a National amplifier, a Cosmophone, and 2 Central Electronics. So let's see who else is out there. This is K5LYN calling and listening. Somebody talk to me.
Reconnect, K5LT.
K5LT, yes sir, Lyle.
Hi, good evening, Lynn, and everybody else on the net. This is Lyle, Lima Yankee Lima Echo, located outside of Bernie, Texas, north of San Antonio. And tonight I am currently running the Yaesu FT1200 because I have a bad push-to-talk switch on the Heathkit SB101, which I would normally be running. So I changed radios real quick. And I'm also going through the Heathkit SB221 amplifier, also the same antenna going through the Cedar Tree. So other than that, everybody's sounding good tonight. Nothing new here except for a bad push-to-talk switch. So give me something to work on the next week. Get that fixed and figure out what's going on there, and we'll get it going again. So back to you, Lynn, K5LT.
Yeah, glad you came back, Lyle, to tell us what was happening. We figured some mechanical breakdown took place, and these microphone connections can certainly do that. I've got an Astatic D104 microphone that I used to use with one of my other stations all the time, and it got intermittent like that, and I still haven't found it. I've checked the mic cord, the connectors, the switch in the mic. Something is still eluding me, so I know how tricky that can be. You got a beautiful signal, Lyle. Anything new on your end? New projects in the works?
Nothing new. I still have the Heathkit AJ41 I need to work on. get it recapped and back online again and realigned. Matches up with my Heathkit AA100.
Okay. All right. Well, that keeps us off the streets and keeps us out of trouble, and hopefully we're about to get back to having some hamfests. I suspect you are like the rest of us. We got radios stacked up we need to sell to somebody. Is that the case on your end?
Oh, I currently don't have anything to sell, but a few little odds and ends I'd like to pick up to match up with this Heathkit stuff. A couple of SBs, a station monitor, and a scope. I'd like to pick up one of these days. I'll find one eventually and pick it up and rebuild it. I just got to find a place to put it here in the shack because everything's pretty much maxed out now between radios and computers. Not a whole lot of real estate left. So, but one of these days.
Yeah. Well, real estate is a problem for all of us. I've got 3 different levels of radios, some on the floor that are actually hooked up and working. All right, Lyle, great to hear you this evening. All right, let's see if there's anybody else out there for the boat anchors tonight. K5LYN on the Central Electronics 20A, calling and listening. Well, I'm kind of surprised we didn't have a big group. If Mike didn't drum up any and Jay didn't and Rusty didn't, I don't think I'm going to succeed either. But let me give it to Jay. Let's go around the table one more time and see if anybody else wants to talk to any one of us. And we may have done it tonight, or maybe the band will open up and we'll hear some more people. Jay, give it a try. Over to you, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. We'll give her a shot, see what we can do. Is there something going on that we don't know about? Like, it's not Valentine's Day. It's I don't know if there's a baseball game or a football game, or I know they've already voted on the bill. I don't know. Something's got people busy. If you're not out busy chasing people through the brush or doing something like that, who knows? And you want to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net, this is your chance. Come on down. Well, it may be a short net, Lynn. You want to pass it around again and see what happens?
Yeah, let's let the other guys have a chance. Failing that, we'll give it up.
All righty. Well, this is going to be the last call, folks, so Rusty, go ahead. WK5R, KM5QS.
KM5QS, WK5R. All right. Yeah, well, looks like we may round her up early this time. Anybody else out there left who wants to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
Alpha Golf 5, X-Ray Papa.
Alpha Golf 5, X-Ray Papa. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Kenneth up here in Brownwood, Central Texas. Hanging in there, enjoying all the static crashes. But right now I'm on a Kenwood TS530S. Got my old helicopter HT33A amplifier going out a G5 RV antenna. That's about all I got here in Brownwood. And got a Chinese BM800 microphone. How's this thing sounding? Over.
Sounds pretty darn good to me. All right. The 530, the Helicopter's HT33 amplifier and the bowel movement it's doing its thing. Appreciate you checking in there. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
That fest that's going to be down there in Marion. I don't have the address. If you don't mind, give it to me.
I don't know it. Jay, do you know that address?
What, the Hamfest in Marion? Yes, sir. It's 111 East Kruger Street. Should be very simple to find because Marion is not that big. It's on Highway 78, just a little bit east of Schertz, which is just a little bit east of San Antonio. And there should be enough of us making enough noise that you ought to be able to find us.
Hey, Jay, when is that? I forgot the date.
It's April the 10th.
Okay.
April the 10th. It opens at sunrise and it doesn't shut down until everybody goes away.
I've got a comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, W5DK. I went by there, and there's not a lot of cover but there's plenty of places to park, or streets are open to park, so if it gets organized and all the selling's in the same spot, it should be fine, not get spread out. I can give out a frequency for talk-in. There's a repeater there that I'm control or whatever. It's 443.500, 443.500 with a 141.3 tone.
Okay, good deal. That was Don, DK. And Don, I'm going to bring a push-up. It's a little bigger than your normal push-up. It's the one I usually bring to Belton. It's about 10 or 12 feet long by about 6 feet wide, something like that. So have a little shade there anyway. And Don just gave us a talk-in frequency if you need it for the Marion event. It is a UHF repeater, 443.500 with a PL tone of 141.3. That's 443.5 and 141.3 for the tone. Thank you, Don.
There you go. I'm not too far. I might consider taking a barbecue pit. We'll get closer. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, I'll also have a couple of tables set up. I won't have them full, so anybody needs a place to set something. Better be careful about advertising that. I might get covered up.
Hey, Jay, give us the address again.
The address is 111 East Kruger Street. Kruger is about the central street in Marion, and it runs from one end to the other. It's really hard to get lost. If you get anywhere in Marion and try to drive through it, you will find Kruger. But it's 111 East Kruger Street, and it's called the Marion Park. And like I say, it should be relatively easy to find. If you see a bowling alley, you're real close.
Yeah, a real small 9-pin bowling alley.
Well, considering that's the first Hamfest in a year, I suspect it's going to be a big crowd.
Yeah, we may be covered up. I may want to leave here well before daylight.
That's not the first one. It's just the first one down in that area. I'm going this weekend up to Paris to the one up there.
I've heard about that. That sounds like fun, too.
Yeah, but it's only going to be about 4 hours long.
It'd probably be longer than that. I think it's going till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that'd be more than 4 hours. The part of the tailgating will start earlier than 8 o'clock. I guess whenever everybody gets there and gets set up.
Well,
but then,
yeah, I'm sure of that. But they're going to
open the doors at about 8 o'clock
to release the parking lot.
What I understand.
For the
and then it'll go to about 2 o'clock or something like that, at least.
Super double.
So, I'll find out. Me and my friend Dave, W5DLP, is going to ride up there and see what goes on.
Have I got it?
Go ahead.
Okay. The last I heard, and I could be mistaken, that they were going to have to shut down and clear the parking lot around noon because of the surrounding businesses.
Yeah, because of what?
The people with businesses around the parking lot that shared with MTC.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
You can check on that. I mean, call Richard and ask him or something, but that's what I heard. Now, I can't verify the authenticity of it, but I did hear that a couple of times.
Oh, well, we're going up early enough. We're going to stop and eat breakfast. We're leaving here about 6, so we ought to be getting there by 8 o'clock. We ought to have time to look around pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, all the neighbors are going to love him.
While we're on the subject, well, I guess, the Hamfest, it's a little later on. It'll be October the 9th in Slidell, Louisiana. They're going to have a Hamfest, and they will have some presentations by some very interesting people. Bob Heil will be there, and let's see, what's his name? Rob Sherwood will be there giving presentations or you know, whatever, having little talks. There will be a daughter, one of Wes Shum's daughters will be there. She's supposed to be a very nice lady, and I have no reason to think otherwise. And so that, well, it's going to be in Louisiana. I mean, it's going to be in Slidell. You're just a hop and a skip away from Bourbon Street. What's not to go for?
Comment, Jay?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's Diane and Wes Shum's daughter. That's where we had the first 3 Central Electronics meeting at their estate in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got that message from, I think he got it, let's see, I got it from Joseph, W-A-5-E-I-J, and I believe he got it from Nick. So if Nick's still listening, and I passed it along to Dennis, W5DPK, so it's going to be repeated until then, so everybody should be able to hear it. And that's all the knowledge I have. I don't know starting times or anything else, but I'm sure we'll find out more as time goes by.
Yeah, this is one of Nick's organized deals, and if Nick's running it, it's top dog.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that. So I'm back on frequency now, I think. This thing keeps moving. I didn't let it warm up long enough, but it is still for sale.
I had heard that Texas City is going to take place, too.
I heard something about that, but no information to pass along. We'll have to see what we can find out. I think Dennis may know something about that, W5DPK.
Yeah, I think Dan has some information on that. I'm not sure.
Oh, you reckon it's time we officially close it?
Do what?
I said we kind of got off on a offshoot there. Do you reckon that we ought to officially close the net?
Yeah, one last comment from me.
Yes, sir.
Do we all agree 7:30 next week since we're going to be on daylight saving time?
Absolutely. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, let's do it. K5LYN.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. You want me to go ahead and shut it down, Lynn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is WK5R. I'll throw out one last call. Anybody else, stragglers, or anybody else left out there that wants to check into the Boatacres Unlimited net before we shut it down, come now.
KE5ARQ.
KE5ARQ, go ahead.
Hey, everybody, it's James, Floresville, Texas. Sorry, I was a little bit behind today. Anyhow, running a Kenwood TS 830S, Shure 444 mic, inverted V 40 feet, nothing different. I got my air conditioner in my shack, so I ought to be putting the siding up hopefully this weekend inside, and hopefully I'll be in there. Hopefully I'll be in there soon. Anyhow, that's all I got. KE5ARQ, back to net.
Okay, the 830 sounded fine there. Appreciate you checking in there. All right. Anybody else before I shut it down wants to talk on the Boatacres Unlimited net? Come now.
N8NUT, November 8, November Uniform Tango.
N8 November Uniform Tango, I believe it is. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Just want to say I've been listening to y'all and enjoyed the net.
All right. What kind of rig you on? Modern rig or an old rig?
STDX 1200 that I've had for years. It does pretty good.
Roger. The Yaesu FTDX 1200 is making a trip. We got a lot of noise, but you're coming through it there. All right. Appreciate you checking in there. All right. One last time before I shut her down. Anybody else? I hear nobody else, so I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody checking in there. Lynn, myself, Mike, Jay, whomever's doing net control, we know what it takes to get these old radios on the air and keep them going there. Without y'all, we couldn't do this. So we'll look for you again next week. And this is WK5R, now closing the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse.
Hey, one last question, Rusty. Can I have a minute?
Station, they check in number 20.
Yeah. Can I get N8 NUT's name and where he's located?
Okay, N8 NUT, what's your name? Where are you located?
Name here is Carl. I'm just south of Nashville, Tennessee, in Franklin, Tennessee.
Roger, roger. Okay, you get that?
Yeah, the band has stretched out. Yeah, thank you, sir, for checking in.
Hey, thank y'all.
Thank you, Rusty.
Hey, you're welcome.